The history of the popular game of soccer goes back more than 100 years ago. This game started in England in 1863, when rugby football and association football split into different periods, and the Football Association of England was formed and became the first governing body of this country.
Story of football.
Hey guys, we're going to talk about the most popular sport in the world. We want to concisely review the history of this sport, so stay with us. By the way, don't forget to like, comment, and send this video to your friends so they can also learn more about this sport. Soccer has a long history and an interesting background that we have brought some details of in this section. In fact, soccer appeared in its current form in the 19th century in England, but there were alternative versions of the game before, and they are part of the history of soccer. The first known examples of a team game involving a ball, which was made out of a rock, occurred in ancient Maya cultures more than 3,000 years ago. According to sources, the ball was a symbol of the sun, and the captain of the losing team would be sacrificed to the gods. Picture of the oldest document of soccer from the Maya people that was discovered in the Tepantitla Temple in Mexico. In the Maya soccer, the members of the losing team were sacrificed, and sometimes the heads of these people were used as a ball. The first known ball game, which also involved kicking, took place in China in the 3rd and 2nd century BC under the name Kuju, which was played with a round ball on a field. Later spread to Japan and was held under official ceremonies, and other types of ball games were also known from ancient Greece. The ball was made of leather pieces filled with hair and feathers. The first documents related to the inflatable ball were in the 7th century. In ancient Rome, games did not take place with dance parties in large areas, but they could also happen in military exercises. This Roman culture brought soccer to the British Isles. The most important story is that this game spread in England in the 12th century. In this century, soccer games were like soccer on lawns and roads in England. In addition to kicking, the game was also done with a fist to the ball. This primitive form of soccer was much more violent than the modern way of playing. One of the important features of the pioneer in soccer was that these games involved a lot of people and were held in large areas of the city. For example, in Florence in the 16th century, which was called Calcio. The madness in these games caused damage to the city and sometimes even death for these reasons. It was ultimately banned for several centuries, but soccer, like games, reappeared in the streets of London in the 17th century. In 1835, this game was banned, but at this stage, this game was held in public schools. However, it took a long time for the features of today's soccer to become practical. For a long time, there was no difference between soccer and rugby. There was also a lot of variety in the size of the ball, the number of players, and the length of the match. This game was often held in schools, and two dominant schools were rugby and Eton. In rugby, the rules included the possibility of hitting the ball with the hand, which is where rugby originated from. In Eton, the ball was played exclusively with the feet, and this game can be seen as a close prerequisite for modern soccer. Rugby was called the running game, while the game in Eton was called the dribbling game. An attempt to create appropriate rules for this game was made in a meeting in Cambridge in 1848, but a final solution for some questions was not reached. Another important event in the history of soccer happened in 1863 in London, where the first soccer association in England was formed, and they decided not to touch the ball with their hands. This meeting also led to standardizing the size and weight of the ball. The result of the London meeting was that the game was divided into two parts. I was very surprised when I heard about the antiquity of this game. For now, subscribe because there is more to come.